We call this season 3 of the Boardcast. We've changed.
I like that, actually.
Yeah. New space, new setup as well.
Upgrade, maybe.
Upgrade. Less echo.
I feel like we were good, and then we downgraded for a small amount there, and then we're back into the non-tinny version of it.
Yeah. But we're in a restaurant now, right? This is the so-to-be Black Sheep.
Yes. Yeah, we're here now. So we're back in Padbury. We've been making vague progresses, I would guess, over the years. I think I made a critical error in the early days of announcing plans that we were doing well before being properly ready.
Right.
Obviously, that wasn't the intention. We've had
excitement, right?
along the way.
So every day there's someone opens a restaurant.
I think that's it, right? Like I think in the initial stage we thought we had a pretty locked down plan, all of our trades in line. We knew what we're doing. And then somewhere along that line, those plans went completely out the window, and 2 years have gone past now. So we've even had the hole in our roof, in our ceiling at the boards for a year.
It's a race between what gets fixed first.
So it is kind of like adopting like injured animals. You know what I mean?
Right. But my limited experience talking to people who have worked in restaurants and such, the initial get up is the hardest part, right?
Yeah.
Getting up and going again.
Well, I think we in the end, I wanted to scale back a little bit because we had some other plans in the works, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. But I didn't want to rush through opening the restaurant and then open, say, 5 to 7 days a week with the staff, and then you've got to worry about having a good day and a bad day, like financially, right? Which is what happens in restaurants. Like you look at your take for a restaurant, and it's like more of a holistic view. You go, we look at the entire week from start to finish. You might have a bad Monday and a bad Tuesday, but a great Wednesday and an okay Thursday. And then you're really trying to, generally speak, push through like a good Friday, Saturday night. That's kind of what makes your financials for a restaurant, right? But what that means is when you do start, you do have to be prepared for a busy day or a slow day. And then maybe that becomes a slow week or a slow month. And that becomes a little bit more, I feel like you have to have more financial preparedness than I would like to have right now. You know what I mean? So instead of fully opening the restaurant, we've opted to use the kitchen a little bit for like the dark kitchens and open a little bit more slowly. And then I'll be honest with you, it's been kind of used as a expensive storage unit for a little while now. But we're back in here. We've got the podcast set up. I've kind of doctored one of the rooms that we were planning to change. Like eventually this will probably become like a booth section with if you can imagine,
there's like walls, carpeted floors.
Yeah, if you can imagine, listeners, we're in a probably a 5 meter room by 2 or 3, and eventually it'll have like old style booths sitting on either side with wooden tables, kind of like pretty close where you like scoot into them.
You mentioned the slow days of the week. A lot of pubs, right? They like to do their palmy specials, pasta nights and such.
A lot of people, like a lot of places, will try to do things to uptake it. So you'll see quiz nights and certain kind of themes on those nights as well. So
of course.
I think in the end,
were you ever a big fan of the quiz nights?
I have really bad recall memory.
Yeah.
So even though I feel like the knowledge of that quiz, it will likely be somewhere inside my brain, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be drag it out at that moment in time. I do more the like, somebody asks me a question, and then 3 days from now, I wake up feverishly at 2 o'clock in the morning, being in
the shower thinking about it. That was the answer right all along.
So, like, while the concept of the quiz night seems quite cool, I'm not a very good team member.
I never really go to quiz nights because for me, in my mind, it's like, why would I want to go to quiz night? I just want to enjoy my dinner.
Yep.
But I go to the pubs fairly often because as like a dude who doesn't really like cooking, I just go down and get some food and then hanging out. But when there is a pub night, when there is a quiz night on in the pub and I'm not in the quiz night, I'm just watching the questions and I'm like in my head I'm thinking, damn, I should answer these. I know these questions, damn it.
Well, if you're interested, Kang, we've been highly tossing up whether we do quiz nights here when we open up, because it's a good way, like especially on a quieter day, to bring people through. And I've also heard, Kang, that it's a great way to find a wife because you're finding someone who's like
bare minimum level of being able to answer fun facts about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll set up a quiz night, right, where you already know the questions all up front, and then you'll look like a genius, and all the girls will be like, "Oh, Kang, look, this guy knows what he's talking about." This guy's. Well, I think usually you win like free drink cards or like a free dinner. It's like you can get a wife and a free dinner at the same time. It's amazing.
Well, I love one of those things. But we have something similar scheduled for Black Sheep, right? You want to do a lot more events spaces.
Yeah. Like I might share some photos on the Instagram or something for for the setup. But we have built like a little minor stage at the start, and when you walk in on your right to the restaurant, there's 4 like big larger tables that can seat depending on how big of a event space you want to have, 4 to 10 people per table.
Yeah.
Like
Big fan of the tables. They got a solid weight to them.
Yeah, they're really
chunky.
cool. Nem, the chef, his dad actually constructed them out of jarrah that I got from one of the deliveries that I did. So many years ago,
Solid.
I took some jarrah flooring. I was taking it down to Whitelands, which is kind of towards like Albany way, I guess, for anyone in WA. And it was a big job. Like they'd kind of manufactured it incorrectly, and they paid me many, many thousands of dollars to take lots of it and back down there. And then on the last run, there was still quite a lot left, and the site manager back at the milling yard was like, well, we've paid you heaps of money to bring these down. We're just going to pay you for this last lot to just get tipped at the rubbish tip. We don't want to do it. So I said to him, I was like, well, instead of you paying for it to get scrapped, do you mind if I keep it? And they're like, go for it.
Especially jarrah wood?
Yeah.
Which is, solid timber.
Absolutely. So it's real good timber. It was just manufactured incorrectly. And if you're getting it for free, absolutely no problems. But if you'd spent $200 per square meter for it, they would have expected a more premium quality finish on the timber, right? And what it was like the width. So when the boards, they're cut with little grooves in them, so they click together almost like a piece of Lego. Yep. And they'd done that incorrectly, so it makes it a little bit harder to work with. But luckily for me, I wasn't the guy working with it, so I took that jarrah and I took it to Nem's dad, and he's created some tables out of it for us, as well as the decking. And even in Northern Boards, if you look at the step under where all the Warhammer product is, that step is also made out of that same jarrah. So we've made good use of the timber that I'd held onto for a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Finally comes around.
Yeah.
The tables are solid, man. 3 meters long, I predict.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they got that kind of like old school like dining table feel.
Yeah.
You really sit along and you have everyone in a row hanging out together.
Initially, what we'd wanted to do was have them 2 big tables that run the full length of the center of the table. Like in our concept, we were really looking at like Valhalla, like massive, like Nordic dining kind of.
In my
like
head, it's
suite.
when you walk into Sovngarde in Skyrim.
But, exactly. Honestly, it's exactly
You
what
have
we're
all the
thinking at.
Vikings just hanging out in the hall. Their tankards full of beer.
It's honestly, it's so close to what we think. Like we wanted to, we've got a lot of, we took out the ceiling of the restaurant and extended right up to the top so you can see the roof banisters, and we were going to repaint all of the cross beams and I beams and stuff that hold the roof up in like earthy and copper tones.
Yeah.
Kind of tie that in and then have these 2 big tables.
It was like a hall.
Yeah. But somewhere along the line, because I am not a builder, some of the measurements have gone a little astray. I think the tables are, instead of being 7 meters, they're a little bit more than 7 meters. So in total. I
will say though, having the full length table spanning the restaurant, for practicality reasons, also can be a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, if someone's sitting in the middle of the hall and they got to use the restroom and they got to crawl through all the people.
On the other way,
yeah, of course.
And then the same thing, the walls on either side that we've built in. So we've had one side was done with a plasterer and I've done a stud wall, and on this side where Boardcast section is, there's like brick walls. Both of those were pushed out just a little bit in the finality. So I'm saying between measuring it up, running the cross lines where the people put the bricks, and then the final guys putting the bricks on the floor, they edged out just a little bit enough that with those 2 7-meter tables spanning from one side to the other, it's a very tight little squeeze in between them. So we had to, I actually put a call out, which you helped with when I asked for people to come help me move some things around. And Red and I from the boards came in here and we spent a good couple hours. He was very helpful. We shuffled tables around until I found a position where I was like, I think this is what I like to look for. So. Like if I can paint a picture,
like furniture organizing. As a restaurant owner,
I think there's it's because they're quite large. They needed 2 people to move them around, so I just needed someone to just kind of sit here and help me kind of jiggle things around and just kind of envisage what we spent to do.
Of course.
A lot of the time, because I'm not, I guess, a real designer or any of these things. For the most part, the same as like when I've set up the boards, for good or for ill, I'll just come in and sit there and just stare at everything for a couple of hours and hope that some inspiration comes and trying to realize what I'm trying to achieve. And I think in all of the goals for the boards and for here, it's like, I think I know what the end goal of what I'm trying to achieve is, even if I don't really know what that looks like. And then if I can take what I have, almost like, like using the Lego example again, you've just got a bunch of random bits, and if you can try and construct that into something that is usable. So it's like behind you now, even the plans we've had have completely changed, but we're going to put like a large TV in a case that hides it, so it doesn't always look like a TV, so you can use it when you need to, and you can play like when we do the football games, or if someone has a waiting celebrating speech and they want to have a video play
Yeah.
behind them and stuff like that. And we can use that stage kind of area so people can stand up on the stage and do speeches and things. So I think while we would have loved these long tables, having them this way means that everybody can kind of sit and eat, but when someone does the speech up on the stage, everyone can kind of just edge to their side a little bit and watch the speeches, and you don't have the speech happening behind someone.
I think what you'll find as well is, I don't know about you, but when you get like a decently sized group of people come through a restaurant as well, especially if it's a reservation, they would like to sit on their own table kind of with their people rather than have to share the space. This gives you a little more flexibility on the seating arrangements.
Absolutely. And I think I really like the concept. Like the NEM was originated from Bread in Common, which is quite a fancy restaurant in Perth. And I do really I like the concept of shared seating. I did a lot of it in Melbourne when I was there for work. When you go to restaurants, like you do end up getting seated on the same table and directly next to people that you don't know. I think it's one of those concepts, almost like QR code ordering, that has to come into Perth, that people are a little bit reluctant to touch yet, but eventually it'll come across. So
this is something that it can always, end up being down the line.
Yeah,
like envision it as you see it in progress. But there's the age-old saying of, perfection is the death of getting it done.
Which is funny. Like with what we're doing now, it is very much. I always try and hold to that. The quicker you can get started, you can learn a lot of the lessons that you're gonna. If you can start now, you can start next week. But if you start now, you're gonna learn the same lessons. And while I think people in general are more forgiving, food maybe is a little bit harsh. Like you want to get the food part down right, but the dining experience is different. Like if you get the food nailed here, and then people come in and the walls that you have aren't quite paid to where they want to be, or the customer service is not, it's friendly, but they need work on like learning the menu.
When you get food, from your experience, when you get food and you weren't satisfied with your food, do you ever go back to the restaurant to give them a second chance, or do you kind of just bounce off?
I have done. I tend to. I actually talked about with Lucas, my son, not too long ago. We were looking up like the ratings of restaurants in Perth, and I generally speaking never give 1-star ratings. I think I understand the value of how much that sucks away all the hard work
as a small business
place.
Owner, right?
As a small business, yes. You spend, whether you've done a good job or a bad job, people have spent thousands of dollars.
And it's the small businesses where people are checking the reviews the most. Because no one's ever checking the reviews for like a Kmart.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, no one cares. Like we wouldn't make a single difference. I should actually go look at some Kmart reviews and see what kind of maniacs are reviewing Kmart's. But it's like that. And I think people coming down to the restaurant, whether they think they need to make a stand and have a complaint about something, I think it's up to each individual person to just decide there, because the reality is, and for good or for ill, the most people that are leaving reviews are doing so because they're disgruntled. And it's when you're disgruntled is that time for you to be making a comment on something.
Usually it feels like a communication error, right?
I think so,
Somebody can just be kind of like patted out by just, hey, listen, this is what's happened. We can try and solve this issue.
Or it's like having a relationship problem where you get mad at something from your partner, but you haven't really.
No one's talked it out?
Yeah. No one's talked it out, but also no one's set that expectation. Like a lot of food complaints are, they have an expectation that it's supposed to be like this, but the restaurant never serves it like that. And you might not like that version of whatever that food is, but that's not necessarily the restaurant's fault if that's
and
how
just
they do
like
it
relationships, I have a toxic one with food.
Well, I posted up a story yesterday from Instagram because someone left a 2-star rating for Burger Boy. And
is the 2-star worse than 1-star? Does it feel like they had, because like 1-star is just angry. 2-star is they thought about it a little bit.
They thought about it. Like he left like a full review and was like, the burgers didn't stand out and he wasn't interested in the buns or the onion rings, right?
Sure.
But then the other 5-star, the other rating we got that day was a 5-star rating, and it was saying these might be the best burgers they've ever eaten. And they came down with a group of 7 people and they were all super pleased. And it's just the dichotomy of working in hospitality, where you have someone who says he rates it as a 2 and doesn't like it at all, and then you have someone who rates it as a 7. And the reality is because you're just giving opinions. You know what I mean? Like it's all just an opinion.
Well, the thing is as well, with like the increased traffic and the greater success, you can't satisfy 100% of people. It's impossible, right? So you're always going to get that certain leverage of, because working at all the boards, right? What I've learned over the years as well is that for every one customer you satisfy, there also might be another customer that isn't going to be happy. Yeah. And there's not a lot you can do about it, and especially with like limited release products. Like we had Pokemon the other day on Friday. We had the Ascent of Heroes come out, and Ascent of Heroes was an absolute crash fire success. And that's just like massively successful. Yeah. I saw pictures of people lining up outside Big W's before they opened down the corner of the supermarkets. And for every customer that was able to sell a Ascent of Heroes box, I had another customer come through and be like, hey, I can't tell you it, I'm sold out.
Yeah.
And it's just the dichotomy, right? You can't satisfy everyone. And in food, it's the same way, right? As much as you try and serve the best thing you can, there's always going to be that one person isn't going to quite be on the palate.
It is funny with the Pokemon because we ended up with quite a few booster boxes left of the previous set that only came out, a week beforehand?
It's because Starmie, man. Let me know if your favorite Pokemon is Starmie. I don't know if anyone's favorite Pokemon is the Starfish.
Well, I think it's funny the premium product or like the image on front of the box, the trader box, was like a blimp man. I don't know if he, like, it
was Tampon Man.
We talk about the downfall of the Pokemon creature, but it's like essentially a blimp, and then the man hangs along to the bottom of the blink, and he's the
They're running out of ideas. If the modern horoscope, here's like the Zoomer, the Millennial General, the Millennium Generation,
the Millennial General,
Yeah.
the classic
Millennial General horoscope, right?
It kind of
your
sounds
horoscope
like a Star Wars
is
aircraft.
What is your favorite Pokemon? Because no one cares if you're an Aquarius or Capricorn. No one cares. What's up, William? William's joined the podcast.
Wow,
William slided right in. What's your review?
Thanks, man.
Is this a 2-star or a 5-star review?
You know what you can do with this place? Open another card shop.
I was just discussing with Kang before, like I've got a curtain that's going to go across this front section here.
Yeah.
That'll block in like a bit more of the sound buffering and things. But I'm going to be able to put some of because we want to start. Our first night here is generally going to be opening the 2 dark kitchens, and then run like a board game night here. That's the plan.
Yeah.
With we're going to start with just a BYO license. And then I'll put some of those wooden bookshelves that I like so much just behind the curtain. So then on board game night, I can just open the curtain and the board game's available. And then when it's not, and it'll close it up. So we're going to definitely run here as essentially like a Northern Boards 2.0 for just a little bit before we open the restaurant. So if it works, it works. We're going to definitely do like with the news.
You just need some shelf, and then you can just open an LPG account.
Yeah,
Rock and roll, dude.
Well, there's like
Get more allocation.
The news, I guess we'll get to in a minute. For the board, it's like with him happening there, we're going to maybe become a little more like kid friendly and do some more like open day trading, all that kind of stuff. So then this can become almost like the adults, triple X version of Northern Boards.
So anyway, because like as I was saying, right, with the constellations, no one cares if you're a Gemini, Cancer, Aquarius.
No matter.
It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. But what I do care about is what is your favorite Pokemon? Because that speaks a lot about you. So William, what is your favorite Pokemon? Don't give me an answer that is like, no, I don't have one. Everyone has like a preferred somewhat creature. What is your favorite Pokemon?
You could pick any base Pokemon to start with. What are you going with?
Name one.
I have one.
Yeah? What is your favorite Pokemon?
Skytar.
Which one's that one? I don't know.
The praying mantis.
The praying mantis?
Yeah.
That feels like a William pick. You know what I mean?
Is that a set one Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also didn't realize you could have picked
It's a
something.
base Pokemon.
Is that?
Is he fighting type? Linsect fighting?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Danny?
I'm going for Pidgeot, but I'm getting. I want
The carrier
I want
pigeon?
40 of them though, like a pigeon man in the
You
city.
want a pigeon army?
Yeah. I
Are
want
they
to be.
carrying messages or are they carrying lethal payloads?
Oh no! I'm just standing in the middle of the park, in the middle of like any vague CBD, and I'm just throwing like little bits of.
I'm
corn
okay
at
with
them.
that. You know John Wick? You know like in John Wick 2, whatever it is? The pigeon, the hobo king?
Yeah, I want to.
Communicate with all his hobos with the pigeon.
That's what I want to be. I want to be the hobo king in
That's not a
Pokemon.
bad pick.
Yeah.
I pick Wooper.
You'll be like, Charizard, use your flame, and I'll be like, Pigeon, shit on him, and they'll be like, ooh.
I specifically
army of
enjoy
pigeons.
Pokemons. I specifically enjoy Pokemons with the silly faces. The more they make me just a slight little bit happier when I look at their face. I'm like, oh, it's cute.
But don't all Pokemon have like references? Like references of
there's
something?
a serial.
What do you think of
number
Pidgeot's
Pokemon.
referencing?
Oh, bro.
What? Well, I guess they've taken a concept of real life, like
Because I want to say Ditto, but Ditto feels like a cop out if you say it's your favorite Pokemon. Because Ditto could be anything.
just be anyone, yeah.
But I just really like how stupid his face is. You know what I mean? That little smile. I really relate a lot.
the puddle Pokemon.
Well, okay. So in the Pokemon world, there's no like animals. Because animals are replaced with Pokemon,
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
So if you want to eat chicken, what do you eat? You eat Pidgeot?
Nah, everyone's just everyone's vegan. In my mind, everyone's vegan.
In
now.
season 1, there's a moment where they catch a Magikarp and they're eating the Magikarp. Like Misty, I remember as a kid.
Would you be okay eating a Magikarp knowing that it can transform into a dragon?
Yeah.
Oh, just think it's like when you stomp a cockroach and you're like, each cockroach has like 10,000 babies or whatever the fuck it is.
Ooh,
so you know you've just wiped out 10,000 potential creatures. That's like imagine the
That's
power.
really
of
good for my KDA.
And imagine eating a magic carp and then knowing in yourself, you're like, I stopped an entire dragon potentiality.
Well, yes, that's the thing, right? Like with Pokemon, is like they don't talk much about food.
Yeah. Well, they're always eating. They're always eating like little
Berries,
rice ball things,
right? Like little snacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Chocolate bars.
Well, usually the show is like little rice balls. Like
Now, maybe the real question is,
Well,
which
even-
Pokemon would you want to eat?
Even the vegetables are kind of like Pokemon too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
My pick is Lopunny. Don't Google it.
What the hell's that?
Don't worry about it, William.
like a
I would
rabbit.
eat Lopunny.
It's a version of the hot rabbit from
Yeah, imagine. Okay, so
The Looney
imagine
Tunes.
not Jessica Rabbit. What's the one from Looney Tunes again?
Isn't that it?
No, Jessica Rabbit is. Is it?
I
No,
don't-
Jessica Rabbit's the other one. That's the redhead. No,
I don't
What's
know.
it? She's not a rabbit.
Lola Bunny.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Imagine
yeah.
Lola Bunny, but more animal. That's not. Doesn't sound
You know,
right.
people have the same thing with the Zootopia rabbit as well. There's like a lot of weird stuff about the Zootopia one. You're like, what?
If you were on the internet when like what was it 2012 when Zootopia came out?
Yeah.
When 2012 when like Zootopia came out, whatever it came out, there was like felt like there was a furry awakening in culture. The internet went up around it, dude.
Man, I hope they go back to sleep. Well, I wonder what it is about the female rabbit form that has men so weird about it.
Yeah, good point, eh?
Good times. Anyway, well, how are you doing today?
Moving
bud?
on away from bestiality.
That's gonna flag us. That one's gonna get us.
Yeah, but
I'm
you know what?
right
We have Matt making clips for us now.
Yep.
So in the back of my brain, I'm like, maybe I should just say outlandish things.
That's someone else's editorial.
Yeah,
problem.
I'm gonna start going outlandish with it, and Matt, if you're listening back on this, you can just clip it and do what you want with it. you know, Matt's already assembling a William supercut.
Yeah.
William says.
So we've got Matt who does the Lawcast with us. He's going to do some editing and some social media things for us. So he's going to go through all of the episodes and he's super cutting a bunch of the craziest stuff you've ever said.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, damn.
And into like one like I guess a hot cut episode.
Damn.
Greg, a regular listener of ours as well.
Let's see how many hits, how many views I can get.
So Greg, a regular listener of ours, he's been going back through old episodes, and he's been sending me timestamps of like the outlandish things we say, and sometimes I forget what I say as well, and I'm like, I go back and I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh, I forget what I say the second it comes out of my mouth.
Absolutely, that's what makes good content, mate.
Yeah.
You just trudge forward.
Just hope for the best.
Absolutely.
So
Well-
how's it going finding a place with him? I know it's probably an extra 15 minutes for you on the drive.
Oh yeah, it's pretty far here.
Sorry.
I was like, it's going to Mitchell Freeway. What the hell?
Did you see the sign for this place? This whole area is called Hepburn Heights. Did you see the sign that says Hepburn Heights?
No, I just used the GPS.
Exactly, because no one does. That sign is terrible.
Yeah, the sign is
There's
terrible.
little mini signs
But
hanging
this
out the
place
front
is not
there.
bad. It's near the freeway. Yeah.
It's good. The access is good. I would say it's about as easy bus access as the boards, I guess,
Well, I'm
realistically.
surprised there's not many like take away here because there's so many housing area here.
Well, they're in here. All of these used to be restaurants on this side, and they
Yeah.
slowly got converted away to other things. So, like you've got the Japanese there, the Indian food. This place was a Vietnamese place, and next door is a Thai place, and then next to that was Burmese. I'm pretty sure, but the Burmese has been converted to a karate studio. One of them got converted to a hair studio. Obviously, we took over
Yeah.
where the Thai place was. So
It's converting to general like suburban amenities,
yeah, I
like
think
a
so.
gym and such.
Well, it's also, I would say, 3 of those foods are fairly competing for the same demographic of like, if you're of that nationality, you'll probably pick those ones to a degree. But if you're a white person and you're eating here, it's hard to distinguish between.
You need
like,
a wood
those-
fire pizza place here.
Yeah,
Wood fire
I
pizza.
think you know what I mean. It's all like Southeast Asian food.
yeah, where's the nearest pizza takeaway around here?
I don't know.
Is there
probably
a gap in the
Hillary's.
market?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do pizzas as one of the dark kitchens. So the goal will be to have 3 or 4 dark kitchen here eventually.
Yeah.
Once we put people running, so it's cool. We've been kind of venturing out. We may as well talk about it now, though. We was here, so we've got. As the boards, I think we've extended out. We've got Michael, who's come on from used to work at Warhammer, which is pretty cool. And then we've also picked up Kurt, who will be who was one of our guys who comes to draft every Saturday night. He's started as a chef at the thing as well, who will eventually theoretically convert from either stay at Burger Boy if he wants to stay there, or come over to here and start working with us
interesting.
here. So it's good. We in a short period of time, we've extended up and picked up a few cool
Yeah.
team members, which is going to make a big difference.
You know,
in classic Danny fashion, he's picked up too many things.
If I can read Danny's mind, Danny is like, yes, I finally converted card players into my workers, because if they want to get paid in cards.
Yeah. Well, it is funny. We joked about this recently, like
It's a circular economy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very insular. Like I've always wondered how some of these other stores get away with such big teams of staff.
Yep.
And you're like, how do they afford that? But the reality is, half the staff we've got now spend half their paychecks back in the store. So maybe the more staff I have, the more customers I'm essentially
If you have
buying.
8, you're only literally paying for 4.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
What I gather a lot from as well, the other game shops around Perth, a lot of people just kind of get a casual worker. They get 1 shift a week.
Yes, yeah.
So it just have people hanging around almost feels like.
Yeah, and it's something that like I don't think I guess we kind of do that. Like Sean only works on a Friday, a Saturday night, stuff like that. And Wade does 2 nights a week. So it is I guess we're not totally different to that. I think I just want to have a more organized mainstream team of people in the center that can have a more of a clear goal of what we're trying to achieve, you know what I mean? So it is, I think, I don't know about you, like, you know, we've all been in business a long time now, and I think having a smaller, leaner team, makes it a far more reasonable like weekly outgoings, I guess, than what you'd normally
Keeps you
have.
agile.
But it does
so you
mean
can
that when
adapt.
someone takes a holiday or needs time off or gets sick, it does make it a harder thing to navigate because you don't have a smaller team of people to kind of fill those gaps that you can trust. But I think in general, it's always, you know, like when we talk about the trucks, like I used to run the trucks with 12 staff, like drivers and 13 contractors. And as we started to retract and get smaller, I mean, you can shed some of the staff members that maybe aren't performing as well, but you can also drop some of the customers that you needed to keep to fill up all the drivers, but that aren't paying their bills on time or a bit more of a nuisance. So it's like, I see a lot of, you know, I consume a lot of business content, whether it's through podcasts or YouTube or books, and I feel like there's this coming trend where people are like retracting their business. Might be turning over $3 million a year, and they want to retract back and turn $1 million. But that $1 million, the margin is like 30-40% in there instead of $3 million with a margin of 10 or 20%, because just you end up doing so much as a small business owner, and then it's hard, but you're doing it so much and so often. Sometimes you sit back and you're like, what did I get out of this? You know what I mean? Like you've done so much work for a very little turnover. So, or maybe not turnover, but like profit margin.
So in terms of, let's say localized at Black Sheep right now, in terms of events, what are you looking at here? So I know board games is one of the ones you mentioned as well.
Yeah, like the end goal is to eventually turn it into like a full-fledged restaurant, I think, unless this process works. But
have you started like doing Uber from here?
yes, we started doing Uber here.
Okay.
So we started, and then one of our other chefs had to try. His position himself changed. Like he already lived a little bit further away, and then he wanted to move a bit further away to look after his parents who got ill. So we've changed up chefs again. So we actually started the Uber Eats, and we run it for a couple of weeks, and everything was going fine until we kind of had to change again. And this is kind of what I talk about with a smaller team. Like we had one additional chef we were training up that didn't work out in the end. So instead of having the Uber Eats keep going here, we had to change chef, train a new one, and then we can reopen. Which in the future, I think we do. While I do want to stay lean, I want to get a second, so at least have 2 other part-time chefs or 2 full-time chefs and a part-time chef, so we can kind of manage that a little bit better. But the idea is to do 3 to 4 dark kitchens out of here, as well as do more catering. Something I really want to do a lot more is catering.
Oh, yeah.
Generally speaking, because our catering, I'm really, every time we've done it, I'm really happy with the results. Financially for us, it can be quite lucrative, I'd say. But it's all we're really good at hammering out a good result, and all the feedback we've had from all the catering we've done has been exceptionally good. I really want to hone and do that bit more. And then from an event side, inside the actual place, we're going to start with like a board game night. We're going to focus more, I mentioned a little bit earlier, about being a little more adult-centric. So we're going to start with a BYO license, and then eventually we're working to get an actual tavern license, so we can sell like cocktails and beers and stuff like that as well. But people don't necessarily have to buy a restaurant license where you have to buy dinner, which is at the moment, this is what this place would normally get, is a restaurant license where you can provide alcohol, but people have to buy dinner with it. Whereas I'd rather do something like I said, I have a quiz night or a board game night where people can come in, not necessarily buy dinner, but maybe buy a drink or 2 along the way. So I definitely don't want to turn into a full pub situation where people are intentionally coming here just to drink. I don't think that's something that I want to manage with security guards and all that extra stuff. But it's more that if somebody wants 1 or 2 along the line. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we're probably on the same boat here. But as I've got older, and I think the changing generations of younger kids coming up, the drinking is less prevalent than ever before.
Yeah, the drinking culture has also changed as well, because because beer's getting more and more expensive, and the younger crowd just don't seem to drink beer as much, right?
Absolutely.
So if anything, they're drinking more spirit-based drinks, which you have to kind of naturally drink less of, which takes it away from the pubs,
Yeah.
and more into like the nightclub culture, if they do, and it's more occasional drinking rather than consistent day in day out drinking.
Absolutely.
So-
And you see the statistics for the major alcohol beverage companies that have dramatically dropped in consumerism over the last 10 years. Because as I feel like the younger generations coming through have more education, more access to information. They like the drive to be healthier and fitter compared to
the drive has changed, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now they're drinking like hard rated. They're drinking like spirit-based sugary drinks,
some
and
are,
also
yeah.
vaping.
But the overall
A lot of Red Bull Cokes.
the
Red Bull
overall
vodkas.
drinking consumers has reduced dramatically. Like the youngest generation between 18 and 25 now is the smallest consuming generation of alcohol drinkers of all time.
okay,
So
there you
and that's been in concession from each generation to the next one. It's
Gotcha.
reduced over the last 30, 40 years. And then
Because my only concern is that I see a lot of kids indulging in other addictive substances.
yeah, something like this, but they now start vaping at 12.
Yeah, so it's just changed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So instead of alcohol, it's nicotine.
But that's why you see a lot of alcohol companies, they advertise more to women now, whereas before
Interesting.
they used to only advertise to men because all of the men were drinking.
You guys like
So-
Aperol spritzes?
What's that?
It's like your afternoon lunch drink where you get it's like an alcoholic aperitif, and then
Yeah.
you just like
Our
soda water.
afternoon life drink is just water, bro.
Well, that was my opinion of Aperol spritz, but it's very popular with ladies.
Oh my god, what are you drinking in the afternoon, bro?
It's Aperol, which is, from what I know, I don't know, I'm limited. My limited knowledge. It's like an Italian alcohol. It's like an aperitif.
It's like a gin and tonic been zhuzhed up a bit.
yeah, but very citrusy.
I'm a water and zero guy.
Yeah.
Water and zero.
Coke zero.
Yeah, water zero.
He just has he has water, but he also has a zero, which is just he just breathes air.
Coke zero, and that's it.
Just stands outside and next to a tree and
Yeah.
sucks in the oxygen.
That's me when I'm on a cut and I have to close my eyes and imagine food.
That's
you
me
just
every
stand
day.
there, stand there, other people smelling it. But I think the other overconfidence is I want to like restaurants and bars and stuff have always had to lean so heavily on the alcohol because it's the thing that makes the margin. But I really want to create a situation where we don't necessarily have to lean on the income from the alcohol to be our be all or end all, because I just think that as time goes by, it will have less and less of the big effect in this industry that it has done for a long time, you know? And it's not, alcohol's not going to go away, drinking's not going to go away, but if I can create this place to be profitable without leaning on that, it does mean that when we sell a drink, it's like a bit of a bonus, you know what I mean? But it's not, we don't have to be like, oh, you know, shit, we've sold 20% less alcohol this month, we're in trouble now, you know what I mean? And I just think that's the thing. Is also like personally, as I've got older and I've become healthier, and I focus more on like spending time with my son, going to the gym and doing things healthier, and realizing that I need my Sunday mornings back to not be hungover. All of that has changed a lot for me, and I think you know, it's just, on the other side of 30, any healthier choices can be made. And if I can, I'm not trying to convince anyone else to do that, but if people want to come along and do that with me, then for sure, you know what I mean.
So early on in Black Sheep, you're kind of cross mingling between here and Northern Borders crowd.
Yeah.
Kind of seeding that initial growth as well.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
You mentioned as well we're looking to run like the video game lands here.
Yeah.
The big kind of like dining hall tables do assist in that. Everyone
Absolutely,
can bring
yeah.
their stuff down, hang out and play games.
I really like the idea of having it almost like as a bit of event space, because the thing, once the dining area is full up and running, what I really want to achieve with it is like a hired out space for someone who has like a wedding reception or a 50th birthday party. So someone you can come in and you feel like you have an entire restaurant feeling, but it's you can really you can fill it up with just the people that are there to celebrate you. So if let's say we have a 50th birthday party and they've got like a group of 40 people, we adjust the table and the seating so that it looks like they're taking up all of the seating and they're filling up the restaurant themselves. And that way you have the privacy of having your own 40th or 50th birthday party, but you don't have to worry about certain, you know, like saying certain things or the uncomfortableness of having other people around you. It's just you and the servers. And basically you hire out the entire space for that night. And I just like the concept of like you've almost like you're at a restaurant with your family, but you have the comfortability of having the entire restaurant to yourself kind of situation. But it not feel like, you know, you've got 30, 40 people here, but then a bunch of dead tables over there. So it feels like it's echoey, you know what I mean? You kind of adjust the space.
William, when you're looking to have like a night out, go to a restaurant with a family, you know, your wife and kids and stuff, what kind of restaurant are you looking for? What is your usual go-to pick?
good food restaurant.
Just the food.
Yes.
Well, you just
Does-
went out
does
with the
the-
boys from the One Piece crew, right?
Yeah.
Does the ambience add to it as well? Is there any specific ambiances,
No.
moods, and feels?
Nope.
Where did you guys go for your One Piece dinner?
Well, they went
Oh,
fancy.
that we always go Nobu.
Oh, to Nobu?
Yeah. It's like
Is
that's
it just
our
is it just the name of the Nobu that like the
No, it's just because it's like it's expensive. You know, it's not like how do I put it? Like it
William's
has the
there to be
prestige,
bougie.
right?
yeah? Is
William wants to tell people that I went to Nobu.
So it's like it's just the prestige. So you want to buy someone a meal, then you want to go prestige. That's the only place, right?
I haven't been to Nobu. Is it good?
I would say it never lives up to the prestige.
1 to
if I'm
5
honest
stars.
with you.
1 to 5 stars.
I mean, it's okay. It's not like wow.
It's like a 3.5
that's
stars.
right.
I guess this is why I question the Nobu thing because I didn't know
Is this the prestige?
It is,
Is
right.
this there go for the prestige?
You're going there so you
the
can
food
take the
is
Instagram
okay. It's
photo.
not bad. The food is not bad, but is this okay? Like it's okay.
Have you guys? You should go, next time you do it, you should go to Meat and Wine Co.
Where?
To Meat and Wine Co. in the city.
Oh, the thing is, we try to fit into everyone's dietary requirements. So like steak and stuff, it's kind of like out.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why we don't go rock pool and stuff.
They have
Yeah.
vegetarian
Interesting.
options.
Yeah. But that's why we always go Nobu and stuff because
Yeah.
Nobu is like it has the prestige and stuff, and it's just like a great hangout place.
I good.
should I be insulted? You'd want to bring his team down and have Burger Boy with us?
Yeah, I know, right?
Always in Burger Boy. What are you talking about?
I actually went to meet Wanko and had a dry aged steak for the first time. You know, the internet really likes to hype up dry aged steak as like it really adds the flavor and gives it extra little depth.
Really,
Had it for the first time.
It just tastes like steak to me.
Nah, because I had it for the first time and I get
had
it now.
I had it in like Rockpool,
Yeah.
right? So for my birthday, my wife and me went, and then I had the dry aged Wagyu whatever crap. It's like
Right.
$500 each. I was like, I ate it, I was like,
$500 a pop.
yeah. I was
God
like, I
damn.
ate it like it's just really nice steak.
I had a New York strip. It was dry aged, and it was legitimately quite nice. It was a little bit extra.
And then my
like,
wife
flavor
had
on the
that
finish.
$100 steak, and I tasted it. Like, it's so shit.
I have a theory, which is there's diminishing
After you
returns.
ate the $500, you ate the $200.
Yeah, so you did notice the difference then.
Yeah, but it's okay.
I guess you
like,
wouldn't have known.
It's not the $400 difference. You know what I mean?
like,
So
yeah, it's like it's nice.
there's diminishing returns, and I feel like the sweet spot is that if you're going for a fancy steak, anything above $100 starts getting is it those
It's just
territory?
minimal increments,
Is
you
it?
know? It's like adding one card into your deck.
Exactly.
Do you reckon at a place like that they make the $100 steak taste intentionally shitter so that if you try it, you're like, oh, this other one is way better?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
Me and Waiko
I
is real
think
confusing.
I think
to
if
me,
you
right?
do like 100 and 150, that's not much of diff. But if you do 105, then I think it's a big diff.
So
right?
the whole thing with like Meat Wanko is confusing for me because they'll advertise, hey, this cut is from this farm and this cut's from this other farm. I don't know what the difference in the farms are, bro.
Oh, the feed.
Yeah, Google their
heat.
location,
Right.
And the further south and east, the better the steak will be. And
The colder
further-
and wetter?
Yeah, you want cold and wetter because the grass is better. If you want to look at it even more, you can work from different farms have like different
Right.
ratings of feed because the soil underneath is better. And if you can also look at how many cows are per capita on that area.
They also advertise the steak at per kilo, and I don't know about you boys, but I definitely can't eat a kilo of steak.
No, but the issue as well is you gotta really eat steak every other day to like know the
A
difference.
steak
right?
connoisseur.
I do. That's what I was going to say before when we talked about like the tasting the difference, right? It's when you get to that top end, it's like any hobby. Like, can you determine the difference between
Yeah.
it? It's like it's some like
True.
it's like having
It's like a wine guy.
like an art enthusiast. You know, you can tell the brush strokes and the kind of oil paints they've used and what generations.
If you do it enough, you know,
Yeah.
it's like if you give us like magic cards, fixed magic cards, when you touch it, like it's fake.
Like
Yeah.
I could feed Lucas a $500 steak, my 15-year-old son. He's not going to know. He's like, I'll just have chicken nuggets. Thanks. You know what I mean? That doesn't make the steak any less good, but the person you're giving it to just isn't going to appreciate what the difference is, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
So yeah,
It's kind of like,
it's nice. It's nice dinner, but I don't appreciate like the ambience and shit.
yeah,
I'm like whatever.
yeah.
It's like,
I'm an
if the
I'm
food
an
is good,
atmosphere.
alright, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm an atmosphere kind of guy when it comes to food,
Right.
where I can spend anywhere within the spectrum of like what amount of currency. For me, it's like I'm happy to spend money on food if it means that the company I'm having and the overall experience I'm having is worth it, right? So like some of my favorite times going out to dinner is not even expensive food, right? You go to like Korean barbecue and such, but because it's such a shared experience, everyone goes out, leaving the restaurant with like having fun.
Yeah, the
you know?
community of it.
You
Yeah.
have some drinks or some food, and even if like you forget about the food, you have that memory of the experience hanging out with friends.
Kind of
For
like-
me, that's what
we've gone out to
Dining
dinner a
is.
few times, and we'll always get dessert after, and we'll stand there in the street and eat ice cream. And that feels a lot better to be as a community and friends having a chat about the ice creams than me just standing there on the side eating ice cream like a fat fuck by myself. You know what I mean? Like it's the group you take and the people you go with. And I also think it's the same as with the hobbies, like the shops and the stuff. It's like some people will come in. You know, we at the markets, people come in and they'll kind of look at the whole place and they're like, oh, we don't get it. So you don't have to get it. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's some people will enjoy it and the process and the whole situation about it. And other people will go and get their farm on steak and be like, oh, I'd rather have like, you know, Macca's for 3 weeks straight rather than have this. And they're both totally acceptable.
You're never going to
opinions,
convert
right?
those people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think you don't really have to.
It's different. It's different. Like your what's it called? Your preference. Your preference.
It's kind of like it's full circle back to we talked earlier. I posted up, I think, on my Instagram yesterday of these 2 rating reviews from yesterday from Burger Boy, and one said it gave us a 2-star review saying it was like no good and he didn't like it, and the next review was a 5-star rating where they came with 7 people and they said it was the best burgers they've ever had. So you're always going to hit 2 completely different opinions, and you can't do much about
Some
it.
people just can't please.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, if it's too early, a little bit too early, this shit.
You got any good reviews from Eternal Magic?
I don't know. I don't have Google reviews.
Yeah, but you know, eBay, for example.
Oh, I have. It's 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you had any bad ones?
Oh yeah, I did, but it's not my fault. He bought a LP card and then complained it's an LP card.
Yeah.
I just showed eBay. eBay just remove it.
They remove it?
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem with Google. Like
I was like, what the hell?
some of the reviews, and admittedly, we have some 5-star reviews and some 1-star reviews, but they've got nothing to do with our business whatsoever. Like one guy's given us a 5-star review because he had really liked the Luxor that we've sold him, but we clearly don't sell Luxor at our Burger Boy restaurant. And another guy gave us a 1-star review because the air conditioning wasn't good enough in the food court. And I'm like, I hear you, buddy, but that's not something that's within my control whatsoever.
It's not food related.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it is, it is there. But the Google reviews, we don't know how to interact with them in any way. They're just there. Like there's time we've got.
Can't you send like to Google to review?
They just don't do anything about it. Like
okay.
you can report them. You can have other like Nem found something online. They say if you get like 30 people to report it, once it gets to a certain amount of reports, it gets sent through. So we tried that. We literally had over 30 people report a comment for us, and nobody never did anything. So we don't know.
Google's too big of a company. I don't know if they.
Yeah, I think if they put the report, the thing there just to make you feel good, and then that's it, right?
It just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Like in the early days, someone gave us a 1-star review because they came and we weren't open. But it was like, you came outside of open times.
What do you want us to do?
Yeah,
man?
what do you want us to do?
Yeah.
So I had another review on like Shopify has its own review base as well. That one's
How do you
okay.
even navigate? If I'm a consumer buying stuff, how would you even navigate to Shopify?
Where's the review option on the Shopify checkout?
I don't know.
What
like,
the hell?
yeah, I had like a 5-star, 456 5-star.
There's enough people to find out
pretty
where to
good.
review that then.
Yeah.
460 reviews is good.
And then on eBay, I have like 2K or 5K or something.
That's solid. eBay is really good because eBay will ping the person after someone buys something.
5.7K.
Are you still dealing in flesh and blood cards?
Yeah, a little bit.
How did the new set go for you?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Did you get shuttled with a lot of stock in the end?
No. It's
Okay.
alright.
Yeah.
We talked about it a bit, like in the last couple of weeks in the shop. It felt like it was really popular going into it. People were very keen, and in the end, it seemed to have tempered off a lot. And did you open all the product, or you sold it as sealed?
Still not open a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Not open a
Yeah.
lot.
Did we end up discounting ours down? Right, it's pretty much a cost price now, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I said many times ago, Flesh and Blood, Locana, I don't know. These games is very niche. Like they're not-
Locana at the moment is a better earner for us than Flesh and Blood.
it's booming because the boxes are scarce. Like
Yes.
there's not enough
limited
products.
stock.
Yeah. So I think the Australia distributor know like they don't want to carry that much.
I think they've been burned in the past too much. 'Cause
yeah,
you can tell
and,
with
and
set
the
1 to
rotation is it's like in a year.
You can tell in the early sets
And
they were
they don't
really
rotate
pumping out.
one set; they rotate 4 out. So if you don't sell those 4 out in a year, it's gone.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. If it ends up on the deck after that, it's probably not moving at all.
Yeah, so it's kind of like you need to move things fast. So they rather have low stock than more stock.
Do you open? Do you open the Locana as well?
Nah, I don't do it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just don't touch it.
Not touch it anymore.
The trick with Locana is you just got to touch it. It's got to be sealed value. The singles market for it doesn't really quite exist.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
get a lot of people come through Northern Boards asking if we buy Locana cards. just because the sake is no one really in Perth is buying Lorcana cards.
Yeah,
You
okay.
just move sealed.
So you're getting only buy-ins, no sales out.
No, it's not worth it because the rotation is killing the game.
Yeah.
It's too fast. You just let it be for another. If you rotate every 2 years, it's fine. But every year, 4 sets.
So they just clear out. Was it like it's like 3 years of sets are in, and then every 4th year the one
So
drops off
when the next one come in, the next just 4 just goes out, and the 4th one that got sold is the time being sold is so little. You know what I'm saying?
It's a yearly rotation.
Yeah. So it's not like one set in, one set out. It's just
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the
Strict
first set
time-based
in the
rotation.
whole set. The 1 to 4 goes out. Now it's 4
Yeah, so
5
like
to.
if it's year to year,
5 to
like
8.
your December release is getting knocked out.
whacked
Correct.
out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in the next set that's released, 5 to 8 goes out.
Speaking about December releases, I was looking at the timeline for 2026 Magic the Gathering releases. The last set of the year is Star Trek, and it releases in November, which
what?
is
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
For what?
Magic the Gathering.
Magic.
What the fuck?
The last,
Doctor
the
Who,
last
yeah.
Magic the Gathering set of the year is Star Trek, and it's November, which is positioned itself to be a holiday release. But so holiday releases are usually when you're really looking to hit your banger set.
Yeah.
Really trying to drive sales. But I looked at Star Trek. Star Trek hasn't had a relevant TV show since the early 2000s. There are entire generations of kids that have grown up now not knowing what Star Trek is. I don't know if Star Trek as a franchise has any weight.
Well, is this like Doctor Who?
But Doctor Who,
Doctor Who runs right now.
Yeah, but
Well,
no
it
one's
did when
watching.
but here's
came
the thing,
out.
with Doctor Who, when Doctor Who released in Magic,
Yeah, true.
the-
It was the least popular Doctor
Yeah.
Who series ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
when Doctor Who released in Magic, they only released Commander decks and Collector boosters, like a small release, and it sold
Yeah.
out. No problems there at all. Star Trek is positioned to be a full set release.
Oh, full set.
And I don't know if it's going to be another like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles problem.
William? What Star Trek media have you consumed?
The movies.
The movies?
Yeah.
The 3
I
movies.
love the movies.
Were they any good?
Yeah.
Were the movies good?
The new
Should I
ones.
watch
Well,
it?
yeah,
Like
the movies are good.
There's lots of movies. Like, do you mean the new ones? Like
Yeah, the new ones.
Yeah.
Not the younger one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The captains. Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I'm born in 97, which puts me as a millennial. And I have zero exposure to Star Trek as a millennial.
So you've
And
watched nothing?
I've watched nothing. No movies. I've
you
never
should
watched the
check out-
TV
You
shows.
should check out the movies. It's pretty good.
But also, I know that I'm not the only one that has consumed zero Star Trek content. Because there's a lot of millennials at my age, and this is also my age demographic is the prime demographic that should be buying Magic the Gathering products. So Star Trek Magic the Gathering just positioned for people who are like late in their 30s, then people who grew up in the 90s.
Yeah, true. I do know a lot of people that are my age that I guess consumed a fair.
Did you
bit.
watch Star Trek?
No, I never as a kid. I've watched the movies,
Yeah.
all the current ones. But honestly, that was also at a time in theaters where the movies were still booming and good. So we would just see every movie. So I wouldn't say I saw them specifically for that. Because I would just see every movie that came out.
it's pretty good.
I watched the latest one. I can't remember the one of the latest series, which I know.
No, there's a new series. Yeah, the Starfleet Academy.
Oh, so I haven't seen that. The one I saw was with the African American female lead, and I didn't mind it. I watched probably a series or two of that, but I know from talking to people in the store that that's the Trekkies is their least favorite one. So I was like, oh, I like this. And they were like, no, you're an idiot. And I'm like, okay, for
Yeah,
sure.
but any diehard fan base hates new things.
But what that is it's also like it kind of shows that your preferences, the thing is right. It's like, well, the most current TV series, I guess, unless there's another one, is not very popular.
Right.
But then I don't know if you guys have seen Upper Decks or Lower Decks.
No.
Upper Decks, Lower Decks. It's like an animated one.
Because in my
cartoon.
mind, Star Trek is a classic kind of nerdy hobby or classic like nerd franchise. But for me, it's very much a 90s nerd franchise.
Yeah.
Right, it's like the old school, like when you watch Big Bang Theory and Sheldon is like, oh man, Star Trek. That's the kind of in my head the demographic.
The Star Trek that in the movie ones, right? So you know that the tractor beam and stuff.
Yeah.
They just only like got it
So it's like early tech.
early tech.
Right.
Like so, like tractor beam has not been proven yet. And what's the guy name who?
Spock.
Not Spock.
Kirk.
Not Kirk. Kirk is the captain, right?
Those are the only two I know.
Yeah. the other guy who manages the tractor beam. So he managed to track the beam.
Tractor beam.
Track the man.
Tractor beam.
Mater.
But the Upper Decks is like an animated version of it, and it's just like it's the low end staff who like do the engineering and they're like the maintenance bay people. And it's actually quite good because it kind of takes it down and looks at the staff members of the crew dealing with because like you have
It's a more grounded approach.
Yeah, in the movies you have like the captain and the all these like these rich like famous people that are like really well known, and the cartoon deals with the staff that have to deal with these people who have huge egos and things, which is actually a really cool concept. And I don't have a big Star Trek knowledge of information. But so watching the cartoon was actually quite fun. I thought it was good.
So the thing with Magic the Gathering is, I think for a while when the Universe Beyond stuff was coming out, the strength of the mechanics was able to push even the people who weren't necessarily fans of the theme through. So like the strength of mechanics, the strength of reprints would be like people who didn't necessarily like, say, Warhammer or didn't necessarily like Doctor Who can still say, hey, these cards are good for my deck. I'll pick it up here and there, so on and so forth. But now the pendulum's swinging back around where if the theme of this set isn't popular enough, people just kind of bounce off it now. We found that with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because the set itself has actually a lot of good cards, a lot of very playable stuff, finding its way into standard as well even. But because of the theme, it is just some people just bounce off and just never even approach the set.
Well, that's why Spider-Man was so unpopular, right?
But Spider-Man was unpopular but sold well because off the back of Final Fantasy. So Spider-Man was still riding that high of that release
people
wave.
getting in.
Yeah. And so towards the end of the year, now that we've had a full 2026 year of releases of Universe Beyond, I don't know how it's going to feel.
This year is a lot of
If you look at 2026, by the way, we've just had Secrets of Strixhaven. Secrets of Strixhaven is basically the last Magic the Gathering set.
No, Reality Fracture.
But really, does it though? Because Reality Fractured is like it's like a what ifs. So there's like, what if we had a blue Chandra and what if we had different character spins?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like it is, even though it's in universe, it's itself is kind of like
it's not part of the
universe.
timeline.
Yeah.
So Secrets of Strixhaven is the last actual like canon storyline set, and then afterwards we have Marvel superheroes.
Hobbits.
Then we have the Hobbits. Then we have Reality Fracture, which is so far we've seen some of the leaks of Reality Fracture. It's a bit of like a time spiral block style set.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And then it's Star Trek. So for the rest of the year, we don't have Magic Universe.
I didn't realize there was another set on the end. That's so much between now and December.
Yeah.
I guess. I guess it is.
And then
April.
Magic the Gathering goes on break throughout December, early January, with a release probably like late January 2027.
Magic goes on break, and so does my credit card.
There's no break. Let's do One Piece and stuff.
Yeah.
So predictions on best set of the year. The Hobbit, right?
Probably the Hobbit. Yeah.
Probably The Hobbit.
It is funny timing with us having Kurgs come on, who's like a well-known Lord of the Rings fan, coming on in time for The Hobbit. So.
He's gonna be the perfect person to advertise The Hobbit because he's gonna have so much more knowledge than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because for me, the extent of my Hobbit knowledge was those 3 movies. So I know Smaug and
the classic Smaug.
Smaug.
yeah,
Where's Smaug?
that's the guy, right?
What's Smaug?
He's him, right? The dragon.
The dragon?
Yeah.
This is a smog, right?
Yeah,
Smaug.
Smaug. Yeah.
Smog. That's what comes out of your car, mate.
Smaug.
Oh, we're doing him so dirty. Poor Smog.
Smaug. Smaug.
The classic evil. Oh no, it's Smaug. while they're both completely made up words, it somehow sounds so less.
Tolkien's rolling in his grave
as
he hears me pronounce his characters.
Because I came back from New Zealand and
Gondolf.
I've come back from New Zealand and we were there for like 2 weeks, and I was there with my son for the most part. And I thought he would be fun to drive through the hills and listen to The Hobbit on audiobook. My kid was not into it. Big Lord of the Rings fan, loves the movies, watching the movies.
The Hobbit is more whimsical, right? From what I gather, it's more because The Hobbit is a little more of a more kids friendly book.
It is. It was a kids book for originally, yeah. It definitely has some like adult leaning themes, but it's written in a way that's totally fine for kids to listen to.
Yeah.
But Lucas just couldn't get over like it's a full full cast kind of book where you have like people doing voices and there's noises and like they do.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, I love that stuff as well. But they do. I don't know if one of the really popular ones is the Harry Potter ones, because they do every single actor is like top tier actual actors in the audiobooks for that, and they do all the voices and the noises. And because it's trying to do more of like an old timey radio play, you have a lot of like grunting and noises happening in the background to assume like when someone's walking or jumping or falling, they'll go and
and the car gets weird.
My son, not into it. He's like, Dad, this is the weirdest shit I've ever.
I love the idea of it. You have your windows down and the volume's a bit up, and it's a battle scene. You just hear dudes dying and swords clashing. Someone drives up next to you and just looks into your car and just hears the sound of people screaming coming out of your car.
What it really sounds like is like you pull up at the traffic lights and the guy pulls up next to you, and my car speaker just like, Aurelio, I want you to come down with your knife and fight the dragon. and like Lucas is just like hands in his head trying to hide himself away. It's like, Dad, what the fuck?
Incredible. That's incredible. If I had a son, I would make it my job to embarrass him.
I think I do enough of that without trying. You know what I mean? So. Like I've always said to my son, I was like, "How can I not be cool? Like I go to the gym with you. We used to do boxing and BJJ.
Nah, it's impossible, bro.
I own a toy store.
You're
and
an
still thinks I'm
authority
lame.
figure for a teenage boy.
Yeah,
You'll never
true.
be like the cool guy.
He is,
in theory, right?
We you know, we've got kids. Well, your kids are like we've talked about before, are far better behaved.
Hey, Will, does your daughters think you're cool?
I don't know.
They're young enough now to think he's cool, but you wait till they're teenagers. Lucas is like, I love my child, and he loves me, and we have a great relationship. We have a really strong relationship for a father and son. I'm really proud of the situation we're in, right? But even now, I'll say stuff, and he's like, eh. And I'm like, that's not a response, brother. Or I'll be like, hey, do you want to go do this? And he'll just be like, and then I'll be like, I want like, please give me human responses. Like, please use your words. He'd be like, I said that I don't want to do it. I said, no, you didn't. I can't, even with my bad hearing, I can't mistranslate like a slight grunt into 3 words, buddy. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's just a peak teenage situation now.
Right.
He's just like, even when we went to New Zealand, he said to me, I don't want to do anything lame. And I was like, what does that mean?
What is lame in New Zealand?
My son goes to me, I was like, I don't want to do anything lame. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And he goes, I don't want to do any lame nature stuff. I was like, it's New Zealand, brother. Like,
Prepare for nature
It's
stuff.
just nature stuff.
nature stuff is like the whole deal, my G.
Let me get this right. And then he goes and does it, and he has a good time.
Absolutely, yeah. Every single day, like I had to drag him out to a number of things. He was like, "Oh, it's actually pretty good." And I was like, "Yeah." I said it was always going to be
surprised,
good.
bro.
He did want to start. He was a bit of a baby about doing some of the more adventurous, like Highline Sky stuff, and it was just okay with me because I'm also not a huge, big extreme sports kind of guy. But in the end, he wanted to do more and more and more, and I kept finding ourselves hanging off of like big things and swinging around, and I was like, "That's enough of this."
Yeah.
Did you do bungee jumping?
We didn't do bungee jumping, but we did.
Bungee jumping is for people who don't have enough to lose. When you're hanging off the side of a bungee cord and you can be like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. It's because back home you don't have things relying on that, dude. Like, what if the cable goes wrong? You know?
Yeah. Kang's up there with a knife, just hitting his own cable, just creating a bit more extremity to it. Now we did some some zip line things and some other big swing things. There's one where you get put in a cage and they cable you up to the side of the mountain and then the cable just drops and you fly all the way back down.
That seems fun. Like you're like,
yeah. I've taken a heap of videos that I need to edit into something so I can post it online. But we did some cool stuff, and we did a helicopter trip up onto. If you remember from the first episode. Movie of Lord of the Rings, where there's Sean Bean is wrestling the hobbits on top of the rocks, and then the crows fly over, the crow spies from Saruman. They fly over the top and they hide within the rocks.
Yeah.
We flew up onto the mountain up there, and it was only accessible by the helicopters. And it's that classic, there's a story where Sean Bean. In the very early days.
Did you do that hiding on the rocks?
Yeah, we did, yeah. And we got a photo of Lucas and I sitting where Gandalf, there's a really cool shot of Gandalf sitting on a rock that kind of looks like a bench, and it's just a natural formation of the rock. And he's kind of there smoking his pipe, and Lucas and I got a photo there as well, which is pretty cool.
Instead of a pipe, you have vape.
Yeah.
Ooh, if I ever go to New Zealand, I'm carrying a pipe.
That's funny.
What's New Zealand's tobacco laws?
They're
same
they're a little bit more lax than here.
Are you allowed to bring a pipe out into the forest and smoke
I think you can just bring a pipe out to the forest and smoke here.
Yeah, but I want to do it in New Zealand, in a robe with a wizard hat.
I think you'd be fine. The vape laws over there are more lax than they are here, but they do have the same problems where they keep firebombing each other.
Imagine if I get lost
illegal,
and then the emergency rescue crew has to be you're looking for an Asian man in a wizard costume. Follow the trail of
Kang
tobacco
turns
smoke.
up SOS things, but in black currant flavors.
Smokes signals.
Do you you're a responsible man. You don't vape or smoke, do you, William?
No, I don't.
Do you have friends that do? When you go out to your, you
yeah,
have to dob
yeah.
anyone in. Your noble friends. Did you have guys having to go outside every 3 minutes?
Oh
to
no,
vape?
don't have to. They do it after.
Yeah. It's to me, it's a crazy turn of events, right? When we were children, William, I don't know if you were the same. You grew up in a different country, so maybe it's different. But when I was a child, we were told consistently as children, credit cards are bad. They're bad for you. If you can't figure out your life, don't get them. And cigarettes are bad.
Yeah.
There's every cartoon, every media, everything was told to us as children. These 2 things are bad and you shouldn't use them.
Yeah.
And now it's 2026 and everybody has Zip Pay and everyone vapes. So and it's you've taken these terrible things and just made them way more convenient.
So what's
for
happened?
children.
What happens? We grew up in a generation where the information was more direct controlled. We were consuming information through television and our parents, and through sources where the the general like healthcare sector had a bit of say over what could be depicted. So we were drawn in our heads: don't smoke, don't get credit cards, etc., etc. But now kids from a young age, all the information is exposed through the internet, which you have zero control over, and the internet, in fact, is actually even more controlled by the major organizations and sources that just want to make money, right? So from a young age, kids scrolling through Instagram are just being fed gambling content, credit card content, go vape. Look how cool these kids are
They won't
vaping.
feed you credit card content. The reason why,
But you know, alternate pay schemes, right?
Yeah,
Because
not alternate pay. I would say, you don't need it's like these are all non-documented like financial providers.
credit
Yes,
systems,
correct.
So you don't need like your pay slips.
Correct.
Like credit card, before you get a credit
you
card.
actually are correct.
You do need your pay slips and to
in,
show
in
your
Australia, it's a lot more regulated, so they don't
Yeah.
advertise as much. But in America, a lot of these like credit agencies
Yeah.
or like alternate pay, like Afterpay, ZipPay, Venmo, whatever it is, will just hammer it down to kids.
because you don't need anything. You just need a license and done.
Yeah.
You
And,
get,
then from a young age,
you get like what 3K?
Yeah.
from
That's
a young age, people are being
crazy.
taught that, hey, you need to go buy these. And because marketing is so much better than ever it has been, advertising is so much better than it's ever has been, and the way of like subtle psychological control is better than it ever has been. People from a young age are being taught, you must get this thing. You have to have this thing, this consumerism culture. And it all feeds into one big vicious cycle of people want things, so we need to provide ways for people to pay for things, and then it just cycles in and out of each other.
It's like that's why I don't provide like ZipPay or Afterpay on my side.
You don't have
It's like,
anything?
no.
No.
I mean credit card. I mean you can pay by
So
card.
here's-
That's
yeah.
it.
Here's I don't know if you guys follow a lot of like the trends with where the internet is moving as well now. So there's been a systematic strip away for more and more human interaction based stuff, so that companies like Meta, Amazon, Twitter or X, whatever, has more control over the information feed they can send to their consumers, so they can directly more influence, hey, marketing and psychological control.
Yeah, got it.
Because it's all part of the cycle of, hey, we're trying to boost spending, economy, you know. These are all
That's
publicly
crazy,
traded
yeah.
companies. They got to make growth.
Like in the store, we accept I think ZipPay or one of them, whatever it is. But it's almost like we kind of have to, because the people that have it and want to use it, like this is not the wording that I want to like use, but like it kind of makes us feel bad that we don't have it. If that makes sense, because they're like, oh, they want to spend the money, and then it's like, oh,
The reason why I don't have
the
it is because
psychological
the
is people-
fees are so high.
yeah, the fees. And so in Australia, the way that, for anyone who doesn't know, the way the fees work is that they will take a cut, and it's like 13% sometimes. It's like between 9 and 13%, depending on the company that they're using, right? It takes it, and as a business like us, we have to pay that fee to ZipPay, which whenever there's no recovery there whatsoever, you can't get it back. But we're also not allowed to charge, say, 10% more or 5% more or whatever that number is onto the customer for using that service. It's illegal for us to do that. So we just lose 13% up to like, I think the numbers are usually between 6 and 13%.
Yeah.
So the Afterpay is a free service for the person using Afterpay,
Yeah.
because it's charged onto the vendor.
Yeah.
And like if we sell a Games Workshop product and we're making 25% and we lose an additional 6%, 10% to ZipPay, you're like, the fuck? What am I? I've sold $100 worth of product and I made $6. Like it's just an astronomical number to lose on top of the services. And like you still get charged your regular credit card fee of 2.2% or whatever it is on top of that as well. So you lose, let's just round it to 10. You got 10 plus the 12, 2.2. So no matter what the thing is, you've already lost 12% of the transaction straight away. And that's too much money. That's too much money. And then if we don't have it, it's kind of like it feels bad because the person wants to buy that product, but it's not worth me selling that product to you. It's like if on a box of cards or whatever it is, that just doesn't. It feels bad for everybody involved in that transaction, and I just think it's such a predatory system.
Unless you're like jacking up all your prices and then like, oh, if you pay by this, you get discount. You pay by that, no discount.
Yeah, I guess you can go the other way around.
It's
I
like,
wonder if that gets around the
it's
ruling.
stupid then.
Yeah. Well, I guess they get it's like that old, I don't know if the good guys still do it, but the original adage, the white goods company used to do, like, if you pay by cash, you get a discount. But I don't.
Nah.
It's crazy to think that credit cards have come around to being the lesser evil almost.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the psyop, Kang.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the.
So-
So you look at a credit card company and it's like, well, if I pay back, I don't get charged.
In Malaysia-
and you can get some points out of it.
In Malaysia, there's no like there's less than 5% cash transaction now in every store.
Really?
Yeah, every store it's either you QR pay or you credit card. That's
Yeah.
it.
A lot of Asian countries now use digital
There's
cash
no
transactions.
like cash is out.
Completely gone.
Almost
in
done.
China, they use like the WeChat Pay a lot.
Yeah, but that's how you control.
Well, I don't know if you saw it. I don't want to go too far down this route, to be honest with you, but Australia,
I love it, baby.
Australia
I'm all in
just
on it.
announced the optional phone version of a driver's license.
Oh yeah.
Is that so you don't have to get mailed a license?
It's so you don't have to carry it around with you anymore.
It's both.
But it's listed as optional to begin with. So because they know they're going to get backlash, like huge backlash. But I don't know if you guys have done stuff. But
Why?
You know,
is the backlash
it's all part of the digital ID thing, right?
Yeah,
because the way it is that, like, if you want to prove yourself anywhere online now, hey, if you have a digital version of your driver's license, it's so much easier to prove your ID.
Not a huge, but a decent portion of the population will say this comes down to them trying to control, take away cash and control us and have everything online.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, and that's what I agree. It is coming, and
It's just delaying it.
the thing is, I have to use because I have to go into with all of my works. I have to have my driver's license with me a lot. When I go to a lot of the freight yards, I have to ID myself. TNT and some of them they do, especially in WA. A lot of them deal with like mining stuff, which is explosives.
Yeah.
So you have to ID yourself going in and out of these places because they want to know. They want to track who's going in and out for good reasons, right? And you have to show your ID going in and out of these places, right? And some of them will accept them on my phone, but some will only accept the physical copy. You have to physically have the physical copy. So it is a funny transitional period between these places are accepting digital online IDs essentially, and while there's other places now where if you don't have your physical ID, they won't accept you into the building. So it's like, when does that cross over? You know what I mean? Or I guess if it's in an app that's secure and it will only identify to your phone, maybe that's more secure than just having a photo of someone's ID on your phone. I guess is also true.
Sure, but every tech company, even the government, every agency will advertise as this is entirely secure. But in the reality is that nothing is 100% secure.
Yeah, that is very true.
Alrighty, we're at an hour mark now, and we're now a little bit further away from Northern Board, so let's wrap it up, gentlemen. How do we feel about our first episode at Black Sheep? William, is Black Sheep a kind of restaurant that you would bring your family?
Yeah, not too bad.
Right now.
No. It does, yeah. But I think there's lots of potential.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Love it.
I
All right.
see.
Take it, everyone.
You didn't know, but I was going to hold you back and you're going to all vacuum together right now.
Oh, fuck.